The beautiful thing about 5 months is that it's long enough to see significant results, but short enough to maintain intense focus. Anyone can do almost anything for 5 months if they're committed enough, and commitment, my friends, is where it all begins. You see, I learned a long time ago that it's not what happens that determines your life's future. It's what you do about what happens. And that's good news because it means you don't need to wait for the world to change. You just need to change your response to the world. So let's talk about this 5-month plan. 5 months, about 150 days to transform your life. Now, doesn't that sound like an investment worth making? The first thing you need to understand about transformation is that it always begins with a decision. Not just a wish or a hope or a dream, but a solid decision. The Latin root of the word decision means to cut off. When you truly decide to transform your life, you're cutting off all other possibilities. You're burning the bridges behind you. You're saying, this is it. This is what I'm going to do, no matter what. I remember a young man who came to me years ago. He was broke, discouraged, and didn't see much of a future for himself. But he made a decision that day to change everything. 5 months later, he had started a small business, paid off his debts, and was on his way to building wealth. What happened? He made a decision and then backed that decision with action. Now, let me tell you about the 5 pillars of this 5-month plan. I want you to write these down because they're going to form the foundation of your transformation. Pillar number 1 is philosophy. Your philosophy is your view of life, your attitude toward what happens and what you can do about it. It's the set of beliefs that guide your actions. And here's what's interesting. You don't have to inherit your philosophy. You can choose it, you can select it, and you can design it. For the next 5 months, I want you to develop a philosophy of personal responsibility. No blame, no excuses. The day you stop blaming others and making excuses is the day your life begins to change. When something goes wrong, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Instead ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? I once knew a woman who lost her job, her marriage, and her home all within the span of a few months. A devastating series of events by anyone's standard, but instead of becoming bitter, she decided to use that pain as fuel for transformation. Mr. Ron, she told me, I decided that these events wouldn't destroy me, they would define me. Within 5 months, she had started a completely new career, healed old wounds, and was happier than she'd been in years. That's the power of your philosophy. Your philosophy determines how you process life's events. So for these 5 months, adopt a philosophy that says, life doesn't happen to me, it happens for me. Watch what happens when you make that simple shift. The second pillar is goals. Now, most people have dreams, but few have concrete goals. What's the difference? Dreams are fuzzy, goals are clear. Dreams are general, goals are specific. Dreams exist in your mind, goals exist on paper. For these 5 months, I want you to set clear, specific, measurable goals in each area of your life. Financial goals, physical goals, relationship goals, spiritual goals, career goals. And I want you to write them down. Something magical happens when you write down a goal. It moves from the realm of imagination to the beginning of reality. But here's the key. Don't set too many goals. That's a common mistake. If you have 25 goals, you have none because your focus is too diluted. Instead, choose one major goal for each area of your life. 5 months, 5 areas, 5 goals. Simplicity leads to focus, and focus leads to results. I remember a gentleman who attended one of my seminars. He was frustrated because he had been wanting to write a book for years, but never seemed to make progress. I asked him, is writing this book a dream or a goal? He thought for a moment and admitted it was just a dream. So we turned it into a goal right there. We decided he would write just 1 page per day for the next 5 months. 1 page a day isn't much, but over 5 months, that's about 150 pages, a whole book. When he came back 5 months later, he didn't just have a manuscript, he had a publisher. That's the power of setting clear goals and taking consistent action. The third pillar of our 5-month plan is action. Philosophy without action is useless. Goals without action are just wishes. It's action that brings your philosophy to life and turns your goals into reality. For the next 5 months, I want you to commit to taking daily action toward each of your 5 goals. Not weekly action. Not when you feel like it action. Daily action. Even if it's just for 15 minutes. Even if you're tired. Even if you don't see immediate results. The secret to success is hidden in your daily routine. It's not the big things you do once in a while. It's the small things you do every single day that make the difference. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. I'm reminded of a story about a young athlete who wanted to make it to the Olympics. Every single day for 5 months, He woke up at 5 a.m. to train before school. Rain or shine, feeling good or feeling bad, he was there. His friends called him crazy. But at the end of those 5 months, he had improved so dramatically that he qualified for the national team. 5 months later, he was standing on the Olympic podium, not because of some extraordinary talent, but because of extraordinary discipline in ordinary things. The fourth pillar is learning. In these 5 months, you must commit to continuous learning and personal development. The most valuable investment you will ever make is the investment in yourself. Your income rarely exceeds your personal development. If you want to have more, you must become more. I suggest reading at least 10 pages of a good book every day. In 5 months, that's about 1,500 pages, the equivalent of 5 to 7 good books. Think about that. 5 books can change your perspective, introduce you to new ideas, and give you the knowledge you need to succeed in any area of life. Besides reading, find mentors or coaches who can guide you. Attend seminars or workshops in your areas of interest. Listen to educational podcasts during your commute. Turn your car into a university on wheels. The average American spends 500 to 600 hours per year in their car. In 5 months, that's about 200 to 250 hours. Imagine if you use that time to learn instead of just listening to the same old songs on the radio. I once had a student who decided to listen to personal development audio programs during his 1-hour daily commute. After 5 months, he told me he had the equivalent of a master's degree in personal achievement. The knowledge he gained gave him the confidence to ask for a promotion, which he got along with a substantial raise. That's the power of consistent learning. The fifth pillar, and perhaps the most important, is association. You must carefully choose who you spend your time with during these 5 months of transformation. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That's not just a saying, it's a fact of life. Look around you right now. Are you surrounded by positive, goal-oriented, growth-minded people? Or are you surrounded by complainers, excuse makers, and dream stealers? For the next 5 months, you need to associate with people who are where you want to be, who have what you want to have, who are doing what to be. Now, I'm not suggesting you abandon your old friends, but I am suggesting that you consciously increase the time you spend with people who elevate you and decrease the time you spend with those who bring you down. I remember a woman who joined one of my mastermind groups. For 5 months, she spent every Saturday morning with a group of entrepreneurs who were all building successful businesses. Before that, her Saturday mornings were spent sleeping in or watching television. The change in her association led to a change in her thinking, which led to a change in her actions, which led to a complete transformation of her business. 5 months was all it took. So these are our 5 pillars: philosophy, goals, action, learning, and association. But knowing them isn't enough. You must apply them every single day for the next 5 months. Let me share with you how to structure your 5-month plan for maximum impact. We're going to break it down month by month, week by week, day by day. Month 1 is all about clarity and foundation. This is where you get absolutely clear about what you want and why you want it. You define your 5 goals. You write your personal mission statement. You clean up your environment to support your new direction. You establish your daily disciplines. In this first month, don't expect to see massive results yet. This is the planting season, not the harvest. Just as a farmer doesn't plant seeds today and expect to harvest tomorrow, you shouldn't expect immediate results from your new actions. But trust me, the seeds you plant in this first month will grow into something remarkable if you nurture them properly. During this first month, you might face resistance both from yourself and from others. That's normal. Anytime you try to elevate your life, there will be resistance. Expect it. Plan for it. And then push through it. Remember, the pain of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. Month 2 is about momentum and adjustment. By now, your daily disciplines are becoming habits. You're starting to see small results, which fuels your motivation. This is the time to fine-tune your approach, to adjust what's not working, and to double down on what is. In this second month, you might hit what I call the dip, that period where the initial excitement wears off and the work gets harder. This is where most people quit, but not you. You understand that the path to success is never a straight line. There are always dips and curves and obstacles. Your job is not to avoid them, but to navigate through them. I remember working with a gentleman who was trying to transform his physical health. In the second month of his fitness journey, he hit a plateau. His weight loss stalled, and his motivation waned. But instead of quitting, he adjusted his approach. He changed his workout routine, refined his nutrition plan, and recommitted to his goal. By the end of the 5 months, he had lost 40 pounds and completed his first marathon. The dip didn't defeat him, it defined him. Month 3 is about deepening and reinforcement. By now, your new behaviors are becoming part of your identity. You're not just doing different things, you're becoming a different person. This is the time to deepen your knowledge, strengthen your new habits, and reinforce your commitment. This 3rd month often brings unexpected opportunities. Doors start to open that you didn't even know existed. Why? Because you've changed your actions, which has changed your results, which has changed what's possible for you. I recall a business owner who committed to a 5-month transformation of her company. In the 3rd month, she was approached by a larger company about a potential partnership, something that had never happened before. Her new approach to business had made her company more visible and more valuable. That partnership ended up doubling her revenue within the following year. Month 4 is about acceleration and leverage. By now, you've built a solid foundation, gained momentum, and deepened your commitment. Now it's time to accelerate your progress by leveraging what's working and eliminating what's not. In this 4th month, look for ways to multiply your results through leverage. If reading 10 pages a day is working, increase it to 20. If your new network is opening doors, expand it further. If your daily actions are producing results, see if you can systematize them for even greater efficiency. This is also the time to eliminate anything that's not serving your transformation. Any habits, behaviors, or associations that are holding you back must be ruthlessly cut out. Remember, it's not just about doing the right things, it's also about stopping the wrong things. I worked with a sales professional who had committed to transforming his career over 5 months. By month 4, he had already doubled his sales, but he realized he was still wasting hours each day on non-productive activities. He decided to leverage what was working by delegating administrative tasks and focusing exclusively on high-value activities. The result, he tripled his already doubled sales in just that 1 month. That's the power of leverage. Month 5 is about integration and expansion. This is where everything comes together. The separate pieces of your transformation now form a cohesive whole. Your new philosophy, goals, actions, learning, and associations have become integrated into who you are. This is also the time to start thinking about what's next. How can you expand on what you've accomplished? How can you take it to the next level? How can you use your transformation as a foundation for even greater achievements? In this 5th month, take time to reflect on how far you've come. Celebrate your victories, learn from your setbacks, and prepare for your next chapter. Remember, this 5-month plan isn't the end of your journey, it's just the beginning. I remember working with a young entrepreneur who used a 5-month plan to launch his business. By the 5th month, not only was his business profitable, but he was already planning his next venture. His transformation wasn't just about building a business, it was about becoming the kind of person who builds successful businesses. Now let me be clear about something. This 5-month plan isn't easy. If it were easy, everyone would do it. But it is simple. The principles are straightforward. The path is clear. The question is, are you willing to walk it? Let me share with you some specific strategies for each of the 5 pillars to ensure your success over these next 5 months. For your philosophy, I recommend starting each day with a personal affirmation that reinforces your new way of thinking. Something like, I am responsible for my life and my results. Every day and every way I am getting better and better. Say it with feeling. Believe it. Let it sink into your subconscious mind. Also, surround yourself with quotes and ideas that reinforce your new philosophy. Put them on your mirror, on your desk, on your phone's lock screen. Immerse yourself in your new way of thinking until it becomes automatic. For your goals, I suggest reviewing them every single morning and every single night. This keeps them front and center in your consciousness. Also, break them down into monthly, weekly, and daily targets. What must you accomplish this month to be on track? What must you accomplish this week? What must you do today? And here's a powerful tip. Visualize your goals as already accomplished. Take a few minutes each day to close your eyes and see yourself having already achieved what you set out to do. Feel the feelings of accomplishment. This programs your subconscious mind for success. For your actions, create what I call non-negotiable daily disciplines. These are specific actions that you commit to doing every single day, no matter what. They're not subject to negotiation, mood, or convenience. They get done, period. I also recommend using a technique called bookending your day. This means starting and ending each day with specific routines designed to set you up for success. Your morning routine might include reviewing your goals, reading something inspirational, and planning your day. Your evening routine might include reviewing what went well, what could be improved, and preparing for tomorrow. For your learning, create a specific education plan for these 5 months. Which books will you read? Which courses will you take? Which mentors will you learn from? Be as specific about your learning as you are about your goals. I also suggest teaching what you learn to someone else. When you teach, you learn twice. Find someone who can benefit from what you're learning and share it with them. This reinforces your understanding and helps someone else at the same time. For your association, conduct what I call an association audit. Make a list of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Next to each name, write or to indicate whether they elate you, bring you down, or keep you the same. Then make a conscious effort to spend more time with the people and less time with the people. Also find a specific accountability partner for these 5 months, someone who shares your commitment to growth and who will hold you to your highest standards. Meet with them regularly to review your progress and renew your commitment. Now let me address some of the challenges you might face during these 5 months and how to overcome them. First, there's the challenge of consistency. It's easy to be motivated for a day or a week, but sustaining that motivation for 5 months requires something more. It requires discipline. Motivation gets you started, discipline keeps you going. To maintain discipline, link pleasure to your daily actions and pain to inaction. Celebrate your small victories every day and remind yourself of the pain of staying the same. The momentary discomfort of discipline is nothing compared to the lasting pain of missed opportunity. Second, there's the challenge of distraction. We live in a world designed to distract you from what's important. Social media, television, the news, and even well-meaning friends can pull you off course. To combat distraction, create what I call focus blocks, specific times each day when you eliminate all distractions and focus solely on your high-priority activities. Turn off your phone, close your email, and give your undivided attention to what matters most. Third, there's the challenge of doubt. At some point during these 5 months, you'll probably wonder if it's all worth it. You might question your ability to succeed or even the value of your goals. To overcome doubt, remind yourself why you started this journey in the first place. Connect with your deepest reasons for wanting to transform your life and surround yourself with evidence that transformation is possible, stories of others who have succeeded, examples of your past successes and signs of your current progress. Fourth, there's the challenge of setbacks. No matter how well you plan, you will face obstacles. You will make mistakes. You will have bad days. To deal with setbacks, remember that they are events, not identities. Just because you failed at something doesn't mean you are a failure. Learn from your mistakes, adjust your approach, and keep moving forward. As I often say, it's not what happens to you that matters, it's what you do about it. Fifth, there's the challenge of the environment. Your physical environment can either support or sabotage your transformation. To create a supportive environment, remove temptations, add inspirations, and design your space to make your desired behaviors easier and your undesired behaviors harder. If you want to read more, put books everywhere and hide the TV remote. If you want to eat healthier, fill your kitchen with nutritious foods and keep junk food out of the house. Your environment should be a tailwind, not a headwind. Let me share with you what's possible when you fully commit to this 5-month plan. I've seen individuals double their income, transform their health, rebuild broken relationships, launch successful businesses, and completely reinvent themselves all in just 5 months. I think of a gentleman who attended my seminar years ago. He was in his 50s, overweight, in debt, and feeling like his best years were behind him. He committed to a 5-month transformation plan similar to what I'm sharing with you today. 5 months later, he had lost 30 pounds, paid off $15,000 in debt, started a side business that was already profitable, and had reconnected with his adult children. He told me it was like getting a second chance at life. Or consider the single mother I worked with who used the 5-month plan to transform her career. She was struggling to make ends meet in a job she hated. She set a goal to change careers, learn new skills in her spare time, built a network in her desired industry, and took consistent action toward her goal. 5 months later, she had landed her dream job with a 40% increase in salary and flexible hours that allowed her to spend more time with her children. These are not exceptional cases. They're simply examples of what happens when ordinary people apply these principles consistently over time. And if they can do it, so can you. Now, let me address something important. Some of you might be thinking, 5 months is too long. I want results now. But let me ask you this, where would you be today if you had started this plan 5 months ago? And where will you be 5 months from now if you don't start today? Time will pass regardless of what you do. The question is, will you use these next 5 months to transform your life, Or will you be in the same place 5 months from now, wishing you had started today? Others might be thinking, I've tried to change before and failed. What makes this time different? And that's a fair question. Here's what makes this different. This time you have a specific plan, not just a general intention. This time you understand that transformation isn't just about what you do, but who you become. And this time you recognize that success isn't an event, it's a process. Let me tell you why I believe this 5-month plan will work for you if you'll work it. First, it's based on principles that have been proven effective over thousands of years. These aren't trendy techniques or quick fixes, they're timeless truths about human achievement. Second, it addresses all dimensions of transformation: your thinking, your goals, your actions, your knowledge, and your relationships. It's comprehensive. Third, it gives you enough time to see significant results, but not so much time that you lose focus. 5 months is the sweet spot for transformation. And fourth, it's simple. Not easy, but simple. You don't need special talents or advantages to follow this plan. You just need commitment and consistency. So here's my challenge to you: commit right now to these next 5 months. Make a decision that from this moment forward, you're all in. No holding back, no half measures, no plan B, just total commitment to becoming the person you're capable of being. Write down today's date, and then the date 5 months from now. That second date represents a rendezvous with a new version of yourself. Circle it on your calendar. Make it sacred. Let nothing interfere with your appointment with destiny. And then get started immediately. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are perfect. Now, take the first step today, no matter how small it seems. Remember, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Let me leave you with this thought. 5 months from now, you will surely arrive. The question is where? That's entirely up to you. Your daily decisions will determine your destination. You can arrive at a place of greater prosperity, better health, deeper relationships, and increased fulfillment. Or you can arrive at the same place you're standing right now, wondering why nothing has changed. The choice is yours. But understand this: not choosing is still a choice. Inaction is still an action. It's a choice to stay the same when you could have grown, to remain where you are when you could have moved forward. I believe in you. I believe that these next 5 months can be the most transformative period of your life if you'll simply apply what I've shared with you today. I believe that you have greatness within you waiting to be expressed, and I believe that your best days are still ahead of you, not behind you. So make the decision, commit to the process, trust the journey, and watch in amazement as your life transforms before your eyes. 5 months, that's all it takes. 5 months of focus of effort, 5 months of disciplined action, 5 months of steady progress, 5 months that can change everything. The time will pass anyway. Use it to create the life you've always wanted. Use it to become the person you've always known you could be. Use it to write a new chapter in your life story, a chapter of transformation, growth, and extraordinary achievement. Remember, success is nothing more mysterious than the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Start your progression today. Set your ideal in motion now. Transform your life with this 5-month plan, and you'll never be the same again. The choice is yours. What will you decide? Ladies and gentlemen, I've shared with you today a blueprint for transforming your life in just 5 months. It's based on 5 pillars: philosophy, goals, action, learning, and association. It's divided into 5 months: foundation, momentum, deepening, acceleration, and integration. And it addresses 5 challenges: consistency, distraction, doubt, setbacks, and environment. Everything I've shared with you today is useless unless you use it. Knowledge isn't power, it's potential power. It becomes power only when it's applied. So I urge you, don't just be inspired today. Be changed. Don't just take notes, take action. Don't just hear these words, heed them. I began by telling you that the next 5 months could be the beginning of a remarkable transformation. I'll end by telling you that they will be. If you make the decision right now to seize control of your life, to take responsibility for your results, and to commit to the process of growth and change. 5 months, 150 days. That's all that stands between you and a new reality. Make them count. Start today, and never ever look back. My friends, the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. Your future is waiting. Go claim it.